edition demands on Tuesday's edition, we are going to be talking on relationship and marriage, with focus this time around on breakup. When should you break up, and also what you must do when you eventually break up, and what you must not do with your partner. We are looking at this with our traditional Tuesday editions. Panelists who are in the house with me. We have Dr. Apostle Ambi Valentine Ngwa, who is here with us, our consultant. Good evening. We're glad to have you.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening, Cameroonians. Good evening, my co-panelists. Well, welcome to today's edition of the program. We are happy to be here.
We also have Reverend Kenneth Ato with us. Good evening, Reverend. We're glad to have you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leo. Good evening. Good evening to our viewers. Good evening to the great servants of God here on the panel with me tonight. And certainly, Madam Asanji from Bamenda, also want to greet our technical crew. We are glad to be here, and by the grace of God, we know it's going to be another great moment of sharing and rubbing our minds together so that the institution of marriage is strengthened. So stay glued to your screen while we come back.
Apostle for Divine is also here with us. They call him the Love Doctor, coming all the way from Boya, Southwest Regional Capital. Good evening. We're glad for you.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and good evening to the great minds in the studio, to all our amazing panelists, and to all the beautiful viewers of my Media Prime, those watching right now via satellite or online on Facebook. I just want to stay connected. It's another beautiful and interesting topic. I can assure you there is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding available in this as usual. So stay tuned. Let's have a blast together.
Reverend Mrs. Asanji Yvette is also going to be part of tonight's edition of the program. We salute you, Reverend, and we hope that the family is doing well out there in Bamenda. I start with you, Dr. Apostle and Valentine Ngwa. We're talking about breakup and in relationships. Yes, engaging in new relationships after breakup. Breakup in itself, is it something evil? Is it bad to break up when we are in love with someone?
No, breakup is not a crime. It's not evil. It's better to break up than to break down in a relationship. Breaking up is good. It may lead to breakdown if you don't break up. So it's very important for you to know when to break up in a relationship. The first thing we have to layer is that what are the things that can influence a relationship to break up? When do you think it is necessary for you to end a relationship? Because most people are dying because they don't even know when people have crossed the Rubicon. They don't even know when people have gone beyond the necessary relationship to start dealing with their lives and their souls. And it is important you know these important points so that you know when to break up in a relationship. It is not a crime to break up. It's just because people have given an impression that every time you break up, you don't have good character, you are not behaving very well. But you see, sometimes the breakup is really safety. It's deliverance of some kind, if only you know what to do. We first of all tell you that to break up in a relationship, there are things you need to put into serious consideration, because jumping from one relationship also to another is not healthy. It is important to know when to break up and also to stay in a relationship. The first thing I have to say is that there are abuses in relationship that you cannot contain. As a matter of fact, most people sometimes contain these abuses in courtship till they enter into someone's house and start thinking that the person will get better. There are signs you will see in a relationship still in courtship that will warrant you to just break up from that relationship. It is true, there's a lot of emotional trauma, stress, torture you go through, but it's better for you to be temporarily tortured than to be tortured eternally. These are some of the things you must put into serious consideration. So abuse in relationship, first are the things that must influence you to start thinking of if you have to stay in the relationship or not. Physical abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, and abuse in other areas of your life which you think it may be an abuse to you. There are persons who may not consider something to be an abuse, but another person consider it to be an abuse. So abuse in a general sense is not the same for everybody. What you consider an abuse, somebody can remind you of a past you told him, that could be an abuse to you. The person is trying to sabotage you or make mockery of the past you've been through. That could be an abuse. And if somebody constantly reminds you of the past that you failed in, that out of your own benevolence, out of your own magnanimity, you told the person that partner, the person uses it constantly to abuse you, you have to be very careful that if the person is using your yesterday to insult you, he will use your today to insult your tomorrow. So insults also play a very pivotal role. Sometimes we think that it is punches that take men out of the home. There are some words that are stronger than punches. There are some particular statements that can remain like a mark on you throughout the days of your life. So if you stay in a relationship and you constantly experience this abuse and you are not comfortable, it is important for you to start thinking of breaking up. Breaking up is not a crime. You are not married, they are not divorced. Breaking up is not divorce. That's the first thing you must know. Breaking up is not a crime against the law. Breaking up is not a crime against God. Breaking up is not a crime against humanity. So by breaking up, you are not offending God or the law or humanity. So you must consider this in your conscience when taking any action. If the action you are taking does not offend God, does not break the law, it does not offend humanity, then you're on the right track. So breaking up does not touch any of these areas. So you are free to break up in the morning, to break up at midnight, to break up during the day, to break up in January, to break up on Christmas Day. You are free to break up at the center of the road. You are free to break up in the person's car.
On Valentine's
you are
Day.
free to break up on Valentine's Day. You are free to break up in the father's compound. So breakup has no particular location as long as it's for your safety. You can break up where you are saying I do on the altar. Say I'm no longer interested. That's why they ask you I do, because at that point you still have a choice to say I do not. So you are free to break up. So when you see your life is in danger, either psychologically, emotionally, or physically, it is important for you to break up. Or another factor that can also influence the breakup is that if you are loved by a man and the family is putting you constant pressure. My brother, when you are marrying somebody, or you're marrying a sister, you're marrying a man, you are marrying not just a man, no, you're marrying his family. Because if you don't bring the family to the relationship, the family will come to the relationship. I have seen where families intrude in a relationship and frustrate the ladies. Like the girl Mr. Leo interviewed here once. It's a family that ruined that girl's life.
That's the sisters got her well trashed.
Trashed. Now, she never knew. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I follow that program. She never knew that the in-laws could bring her to that position. That's the influence of in-laws in family. So if you want to get married, also look at that angle. The way you're treated by your in-laws in courtship has a very, 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 very big sign. It's communicating.
And that was a red flag. She touched they could handle it
within the with her husband.
Yes.
But some men are not strong enough to handle some of those
Yes,
things with their in-laws. So you have to know the kind of person you are getting married to. Yes.
I'm coming to you because Stephen, you've written something similar to this.
Yes, yes.
Which appeared controversial.
Yeah.
And what inspired that?
The truth there is, I remember the first time I had to hold up a whole program on how to have a successful breakup. In fact, it was a whole event on how to have a successful breakup. And when I did that, I was, in fact, pastors, people got to me, especially in the church. In fact, I remember one time somebody wrote me a very long letter on Facebook. Right? How can a pastor be encouraging breakup? How can you be? Yeah, I was bashed for it. And that is because I came to realize that the stigma around breakup has caused a lot of divorce later, or abuse later, or frustration later. When we stigmatize breakup, I always say that we must draw a line. Every breakup must not lead to heartbreak if you know what to do. A breakup is different from heartbreak. We must draw that line and let it be known. And that comes from the basic understanding that people have not understood what dating is. Because I think if dating was understood as a process of discovery, then we can discover that it cannot go. We can discover from many factors, not in fact, the process is a discovery process. It means that if we now finally also discover that we cannot live eternally, we cannot live forever, we are not compatible, or there are some family issues, there are still some red flags, then the purpose of that dating has also been accomplished, because that is why we were doing the dating and the courtship, so that we don't make mistake to marry who we don't want. So this was where I was coming from. This was my perspective, and I realized that if we understood this thing like this, especially in religious milieu, permit me to say this, especially in the church milieu, and let me say small fellowships. I always like to use small fellowship where everybody knows everybody. So one of the reasons why some people stick to relationship is because it is there's this the people's couple, you know, the committee, you people look good together, you know, and then
you will not want to disappoint them.
Yes, yes, you don't want to disappoint them.
What will people say?
What will people say? Sometimes even the girl doesn't want to disappoint the parents of the man. That means you discover that this man is not the best man, but they don't already make you our wife, our this, and all of that. So some people are not even marrying their spouse; they are married by their spouse parents.
Yeah, the family.
Yeah, the family, and all of this. So then in another situation I saw in small assemblies is that what, for example, as I saw it in my own time, you know, some pastors, elders. In fact, in every church there are stars. It's not only pastor. You know what I'm talking about. They are stars. They are the people who are the stars in the place. Now,
in our days in Winners Chapel.
yes, they are the people who are the stars. That when their relationship is the talk of the ministry, you know. And now when your relationship is that popular, the breakup is difficult because people will be like, what happened? And now if, for example, I say, okay, let's say it does not work. Most of the time what happens is this: if along the line I start dating another girl which will still be known, what happens? This other girl starts it. So you want to try to talk and say that one better person, you know, all of it. And this is the reason why we're having this program, to demystify these concepts, debunk some certain things that are making people feel down or depressed unnecessarily, and to deflate this pressure so that we can have and manage relationships in a proper way. Because if we can be able to understand this breakup thing, I think we are going to also be able to manage a lot of future divorces or a lot of future frustrations in relationships and marriage.
So there is something good in breakup, because there is a lot of stigma.
Yeah, stigma.
Yeah, when I get what you say, it means that, okay, people should also know how to break up. That's
Yes, and manage the breakup.
Should we? Because anybody who is going into a relationship wants it forever.
True. Mr. Lee, what I must say is that people should not also listen to us tonight and think that we came here to preach that breakup is a very nice thing that they should because hereafter there are people who want to be breaking up for a living. They want to be breaking up every month and be breaking up here and there, and you know, there are people's daughters that you keep breaking up with them, and they start living on high blood pressure drugs. Is not good. Now, what we are saying is that when you engage a relationship, put in your best for it to work. That is your first assignment. Do the best you can for it to work. But if it doesn't work, you people should part ways. And parting ways should be such that at the end there shouldn't be any casualty. That is the long and short of the message we have to pass here. When you stay together and there will be casualty, it's better people should part ways. Honestly speaking, breaking up sometimes is caused by the fact that people come together in a relationship and they refuse to be teachable. They refuse to bend some of their weak points, or let's say to work on some of their weak points in order to become better and fit into the lives of the potential spouse that they came into the relationship with. That is one of the challenges we face in these relationships that lead to breakup. Excuse me. Pretty often, if you know a relationship, you engage a relationship with somebody, and the person is complaining that this and this and this are the aspects of this relationship I'm not comfortable with. Take for granted the person tells you, you talk too much. I'm setting an example. You talk too much, and for you can't look for ways to pipe down on the too much talking. It will lead to the breakup that the person would not have normally wanted to break up with you, because coming into a relationship together, when two people are attracted, I mean, at least there was something. There is a chemistry that brings two of you together. At least it doesn't mean you people just came together haphazardly. Even arranged marriages, the person who is arranging to bring two of you together sees some similarities and things that two of you can make a good couple. Now, if you come together and you don't work on the relationship before marriage as well, it will also come to the point where two of you will have to break up. So we are not saying that breakup should be the delight of everybody who wants to get married, that you break up and behave as if you will end up having somebody who is perfect to get married to. In fact, everybody has a weakness. You who is breaking up, maybe you who initiates the breakup, you have your own weaknesses. You have issues that the person maybe is struggling with. And if you also will not want to tolerate and get to the level where two of you crystallize the relationship, breakups will be too much. And it's not also a good testimony for you that you are, you are still a youngster, you are still a single, and before you get married, you've broken up 26 times. It's not a good testimony. Except that village people are on your case, you should not be breaking up every now and then, because what did you first of all see that you must break up? So break up, as we're saying, it's supposed to be a plan B, not plan A, when you're getting into a relationship. When I say plan B, what does it mean? When you engage to get married to somebody, two of you are passionate about settling in life, and if it doesn't work, all right, you can part ways. Not that you are getting into it like the listing, you want to break up. I have counseled with a number of people who, when one of the reasons for which they finally accept breakup is that they said, this lady, each time I have a challenge with her, I say, no, should we break up? Should we break up? And then the man will, or the lady, it is either way, they will resist until at a certain point in time, okay, let's break up then. Let's break up. Nobody will die because we've broken up. Then the next thing I want to say is that most often people get engaged in a relationship and they don't want to follow due process. You don't follow due process and the relationship gets sabotaged by the same fact that you people have not followed due process. For example, you've started a relationship and it is time for you people to now be listening to a counselor to talk some sense to you, or to coordinate and put people on the race. You are so much burning on with love, and you are so much into one another. Maybe you engage in premarital sex and stuff. It leads to the fact that the relationship does no longer have the possibility of standing the test of time. Not because it is a bad relationship, not because the two of you cannot make a good couple, but because two of you have not followed due process, and then the relationship has been exposed to the pressure that is too early. For example, there are people that when maybe family members or friends, as you're growing up, they had a picture of who you should marry. Then you have not presented somebody whom they think this is not a good fit for you, and they start to like you. Finally, this is the kind of person you want to marry, and then it now puts you under pressure. You say, maybe I'm making an error, of which, yeah. So when you go to a garden, the plants that are in a nursery are usually protected. There is a protection for plants that are in the nursery. When they transplant them to the garden proper, at least the care that was being given to them when they were in a nursery is reduced. So what we are saying is, when your relationship is still too young, mind the way you go about it, because some of the reasons for which you end up breaking up is not because both of you are either in fact you are not good, you wouldn't have made a good couple, but just because you didn't follow due process. Then another thing that is a challenge to most of these relationships that end up in breakup is people get into these relationships when they are still still children. They are not yet mature. The mental maturity for them to be able to harbor and drive a marital relationship to its rightful end is not there. And it takes us back to where we say marriage is for boys. It's not for boys and girls, but for men and women. There is a degree of mental, emotional, spiritual, and psychological maturity that you need to leverage onto to be able to drive a relationship from the premarital level to marriage. But now, most often, some people, because maybe they've come of age, when we talk about maturity, it doesn't just have to do with age. You might have come of age, but you are not mature to the level where you are supposed to get married. Then you now engage a relationship, and some realities come facing you, and you are unable to manage the realities, and it leads to a breakup. So people should learn to grow, to mature to a level where they are supposed to mature before getting into relationships.
Good topic, Mr. Leo. Gando, watching from Tasen neighborhood in Kwen. Greetings to my mother-in-law, Mama Anne Njomen, my mother, Mama Katrine Vukesi, and my wife Gando Pauline, who are all watching the program. Good evening to the family watching us out there in Tansen, in Bomenda. Good evening, Mr. Leo, and to all in the studio. I'm a fervent follower of your program, and I must say I have learned a lot from this program. I am in a relationship and I need a breakup at this point for reasons I can't say here now. I am in dire need of counseling at the moment. Please, I would love to have Dr. Ambe's number, okay? LV says he needs a breakup now, okay? Good evening, Mr. Liu. I had a breakup with my husband because of domestic violence and psychological issues, okay? But we stay in the same house but different rooms. The matter is with the social affairs towards divorce. The person who wrote last week concerning my husband hiding his property. Should I walk out of the house or wait for the law to react? And should I ask him money for my upkeep? Thanks again. Okay. I don't know. I think it's preferable she waits now for.
Yes, she has to wait.
Just
It's
wait.
a law.
Yeah, but how about upkeep? Should she ask for money?
As long as she's still married to that man, it's a man's responsibility.
Okay.
The man stops his responsibility the day they divorce.
Okay.
So
So
his wife.
so you've gotten we're going to move over to Bomenda to get the first reaction of Mrs. Assange Yvette.
Hello, Mr. Leo. Good evening. Good evening to my co-panelists. Good evening to our televiewers. Mr. Leo, when I look at this topic of the do's and don'ts of engaging a new relationship after a breakup, I mean, immediately after a breakup, and I don't want to even look at it like, should we even encourage a new relationship immediately after a breakup? It is a no. Now, when I say no, what do I mean? I would like us to look at something. You know, when we talk about a heartbreak, most often you always see, if you go on the internet and search maybe heartbreak or something, you'll see pictures of a heart either broken into two pieces, like in the middle, it is broken. So now, even though that's not actually what happens to your heart, it's just a way of describing your feelings at that moment, what you're going through. Okay, now, but let's look at it from that picture sense, that if that is actually how your heart is, you know, at that moment where you're going through a heartbreak, your heart is actually broken into two parts. Now, how can you actually get into a new relationship and begin to love somebody? I mean, when that heart is not whole, when the heart is actually in two halves, how possible is it? Like, can you really say somebody can truly love with a broken heart? Obviously, the answer is no. So I want to say that when you see people who go into maybe relationships, jump into a new relationship immediately after they've had a breakup, I'll tell you the truth, they're just doing it to cash cruise. Like, okay, I'm going through a lot of pains, so maybe just having someone I can hang out with, maybe someone who can make me to smile or laugh, it can help ease my pain. It's not like their intentions is, at that moment, I'll tell you the truth, 80% of them, it's not like their intentions is truly to build, because you cannot build when your heart is not whole. You cannot build when you're not intentional about what you want. When people suffer from breakup, they are not intentional. Whatever they're doing is just more of fun. They just want to cash cruise and hang out and see how it can help them relieve the pains. But healing from a breakup does not work that way. Now, when we say, okay, you're having a breakup, let's look at it again. Your heart is right inside of you. If somebody has to help you heal, then we are trying to say that, okay, maybe somebody has a role to come and remove that heart, mend it together, and then put it back inside of you. I'm just looking at the picture sense again, right? But you have your heart within you. There is nobody that can do that healing magic for you. You have the power, you have the strength, you have everything you've got to heal. And when we talk about healing, it depends on the magnitude of the breakup. Let's say if you dated somebody for 5-6 months and you have a breakup, it might not be as painful as maybe you dated somebody for 5 years. You've invested your time, you've invested maybe material things, you've invested maybe your body, even as we keep saying no premarital sex. Okay, people don't listen. Maybe you've invested finances. Men must have invested finances. So even though sometimes now women are the ones investing now, you'll be shocked to know that women do a lot of things in relationship nowadays. Okay, so when you see that a relationship that has a lot of investment, be it time, finances, material things, and a lot, the kind of breakup will not, the pace of the breakup will not be as the same as that of maybe a 5 months relationship, 6 months relationship. So how long you take to heal depends on how deep the pain is. You cannot just say, okay, a pain that has pierced you right deep in there, you just heal within a day, days, or within a week until you're getting into a new relationship. It's not possible. You must have some time to sit and then examine a lot of things. Understand what has actually happened. Accept it. Then before you're even looking at other things, I think I will come back for my second intervention to talk about the process of healing.
Okay, we are waiting to hear what you have to tell us when we want to heal from a breakup. Dr. Apostle Ambi Valentine Angwa, now how should this breakup be done? You've discovered that it is not going. How should it be done? You called, yeah.
The same word of you dialogue before you came together. It's the same way you need to sit down. I don't know why people see breakup sometimes like war. It's the way we handle it that sometimes makes it look like it's a kind of bitter experience. The same way both of you sat down, the features you saw, the characters you saw in the person before you came to the person and said, I love you. The looks you saw, it's the same way you can sit the person down and give the person reasons why you cannot continue the relationship. That is, if you have made efforts severally on many occasions to call the person's attention towards those errors and the person remains adamant, it is important for you to sit the person down that, okay, for the 2-3 years I spent with you, I was envisaging settling down with you. But you see, from the years we've spent together, I don't see you fitting in the shoe of a life partner. These are my reasons, and I've made every effort in time past to put an end to these attitudes of yours, but you seem to hold on to them, and I cannot pull any longer with you as far as the relationship is concerned. Please just understand, I don't think it's going to end up in a fiasco or we have to end up in bitterness and malice because we're no longer together. We came together out of our own choice. We can still separate together out of our own choice. But some people mostly don't separate like that because in most occasions, one person does not really want the relationship to separate. So sometimes it ends in bitterness, but it is important for you to dialogue. Sometimes you can dialogue like that. The person says, okay, I'm very sorry. Please give me some time, let me make amends. Let me try to put things together. Then if the person comes up with a better way of behaving, I think it's very important for you to reconsider because sometimes people are not intentional in relationships until they hit the wall. Sometimes they are not really deliberate in the relationship until sometimes what they think they value is slipping away off their hands. I think if that threat comes up, sometimes people change. That's why we advise even in marriage for judicial separation. Judicial separation is a period where the law gives you opportunity to both separate and stay for some time and then observe yourself for some time if at all both of you can still live together. If you realize that some amends took place in the course of the separation, both of you can come back and continue. I've seen a situation like that. A Christian in my church, she and the husband separated for 3 consecutive years when they had 2 children. And after some time, they adjusted themselves and then came back together, and then the 3rd child came. Now they are living happily because that gap that they had, 2 of them, gave them the worth and the value of each other. Sometimes when you spend time with somebody under the same roof for too long, you don't know their essence and their value in your life. And sometimes when they separate, you see that vacuum, you begin to understand that, this person I was minimizing, this little thing she used to do or this he used to do, they are no longer there. I think there's a vacuum right now in my life. Let me value what I really have in my hand. Like they always say in English, you don't know what you have until you lose it. So people, it's important for you to sit down and point out reasons. Sometimes people break up out of anger because of a little spark. They query and they begin to recount all the things that have happened in the past. In such a situation, somebody boils in anger and begin to count errors of 2016, 2017, and say, I'm no longer continuing the relationship, I'm tired. Sometimes people also enter into a relationship expecting their partner to grow with time, but they realize that the person is stunted in growth. Growth in what area? In character, in finances, in education. They don't see those things, then they begin to get fed up because expecting that coming into your life, they will push you, they will stir you, they will ginger you to rise up to a certain status in life, but you've chosen to remain on the same spot for years. So they begin to discover that you are not growing. Why should they stay with you? They now begin to give you reasons that I came into your life, accepting you for who you were, thinking that as the days are going by, you could upgrade yourself based on the challenges I'm going to put in front of you. But I've realized that you are not, because every woman wants an adventurous man. Every woman wants a progressive man. A woman can marry you as a seed, but you cannot remain with you as a seed. You must grow as a tree and begin to produce fruit. Same way, both parties. That's why there is a need for you to constantly upgrade in a relationship. When a woman sees you putting every effort, even if it's not given, the effort enough is going to console him or console her. The same thing with the man. If a man sees a woman making every effort, the same thing. Like I always give the testimony here. I met my wife, she was not too educated, but I had to push her to school, and now she's doing masters. So you realize that progressive growth also has given me the courage to stay and be very comfortable with her, because she's growing up to the status I want her to be, because she will be able to match up with where I am going to. But if somebody comes to you and the person is not willing to grow, even every effort you put in place, sometimes people get disappointed, because sometimes they think that you will grow along them in life, along with them in life, and then realizing that you are not making any effort to grow. These are some of the things that help people also to separate in a relationship. Another thing is irresponsibility. Some women can, like I was talking to the daughter today from France. She called me and said to me, her husband, she's divorcing with the husband. I said, not too fast. Can you give me your reasons? She said, I accepted this guy knowing fully well that the guy is somebody who is hardworking, and along the line he will grow. But from what I'm seeing right now, the guy is very stingy. I'm pregnant. He doesn't give me money to go to the hospital. He doesn't take care of me, and he has money in his pocket. The worst of it is that if my family was not that rich enough to cater for me, I would have carried this guy's child in my womb and then not be able to even take care of my antenatals in the hospital. So all those things put together, the guy said, I've now realized that we are not compatible. I said, have you made every effort? He said, Papa, I've made every effort possible, but it's not going. That tells you that she actually came accepting the man for who he is, but thinking that the man will upgrade as the days go by. But such things, you bring them down and discuss with people. So there are many ways that people separate, but I think the best way is that the same both of you sat in a snack and you say, you are the lily of the valley, you are the sugar in my tea, you are my all in all. It's the same thing you are telling that you are my none in all. And you are not you are not what I need anymore. I thought I could see a wife in you, but I saw just a lady, I saw just a woman. To be sincere, I can't spend the rest of my life with you. So this relationship will come to an end. Let's separate let's go our separate ways and be able to accept our realities, and let us not finish in bitterness. If you get married tomorrow, I'll be there to give you gifts. If I'm getting married tomorrow, I can invite you to come along. Let separation not be as if it is warfare or combat spiritual.
Okay, it should not be combat spiritual. I want us to take some worries expressed by those who are watching us. I don't know who anybody who is inspired should help answer the questions or the worries expressed by those who are watching us. This one reads, good evening, sir. I'm with a man but not yet married. I have been with him for 8 years now, and we have 2 kids. But now I'm confused. He said he wants to get married to 2 women. Please advise me. Diana is writing from Tico.
Most of the times,
He's preparing your mind that he's going to be polygamous.
Yes. That is the reason why. In fact, one of the reasons of heartbreaks in breakups is because people don't date right. We're just using this example where you are getting to the level of having 2 children.
And you're together for 8 years.
For 8 years. Personally, I have a principle. It's not biblical, it's just my principle, a wise principle, that dating should not exceed 2 years. To me, especially if the 2 people are around. I don't see why, because more than 2 years tells me that one or both parties are not yet ready. And that is an issue, because if I wait when I'm ready till when you are ready, I can feel indebted, or you can feel indebted. I don't know if I can put it, but you see, for example, now look at this situation. They have 2 children. Now, the man now is telling you that my concept of marriage is polygamy. Don't come and ask us here whether we pastors are for polygamy or not. That is his personal philosophy. Now, how would you take that? Now that it is like this, if you now say, I don't want to marry the second wife, if you say you don't want to marry the second wife, what do? Will you send back the children? So I think we just have to be very careful.
No, but she needs a word from us.
Yes.
What do you tell her?
What I would advise her is this. There are 2 things. If you think that at this point in time, for the sake of your children, you can handle polygamy, then it looks like you will take it. If not, you might have to walk back to your parents' house from whence thou comest. I think that's the only way that.
Yeah, but should somebody live with another for 80 years without them getting married?
That is the point. That's already a wrong foundation.
It's very common in African context.
Yes.
It's a reality we must accept.
There
are men who, before they will spend a kobo to pay your bride price,
they want to see a child.
Not even a child. Are they not having children? They've lived for 8 years. Sometimes they have 3-4 children. I've seen persons who are going to bless their marriage in church after spending 15 years together.
So what do we tell her now?
What? You spend a greater part of your life 8 years. And if you have children in that relationship, 2 children in that relationship,
yes.
I won't advise you to go to anywhere.
That's my point.
Because the relationship was never built on falsehood.
We have come to the thing. Foundation.
I think 8 years is not forever. It depends on what you choose, what you like. If that you will cope with polygamy, if you can handle polygamy it's up to you. But personally, if I'm that woman, I will walk away.
Yes.
Okay.
If I'm her, I will walk away.
Okay. Good evening. It's Vanessa from Santa. I have been separated with the father of my child. It's 7 months today, and we were in a relationship for 5 years. I have tried to forget about this man, but to no avail. He's forgotten. It seems as if the man is gone. He's moved on with his life, but you are still in love with him. You just call a counselor, maybe Mrs. Asanji.
But in such a case, Mr. Leo, it is for her to. It's an intentional act, because you cannot. You yoke yourself to somebody who has moved on. How?
No, I think what Mr. Leo has said is very helps. This lady needs help. If for 5 years a man has moved on and you're not moved on, she's home somewhere. You might say that is intentional. She's in love. She's in love.
Yeah, we don't know what that man used to do.
Good. So that's why I'm saying that.
That is other people that are coming here not doing.
So that is why I'm saying that what Mr. Leo has said is very good. She needs a one-on-one therapy session that we analyze and then we give her.
Good evening, Mr. Leo, and to the guys in the studio. Hope you guys are doing okay. I'm St. Prince Ngueson. I got a serious relationship, and the lady is almost graduating from the university, and everything was working well between us. I did everything to make her happy. Suddenly, she started giving me attitude, which it took time before she could tell me what was her, which those this. I don't know. She said I'm short. And she can't continue, in which I'm even taller than her. Is genuine? How can a woman say I cannot continue with you because they are short?
Wait, they were not married now.
Yeah, but they have been together.
But does he not know that his height is somebody is another lady's delight? No, for me, because if a lady is backing out of a relationship for such, let her go.
Yeah.
I also move.
Yeah.
I move on too.
But to be sincere, those of us who are on this platform, we love you for your health and for the longevity of your life. We advise you retreat.
Greetings to all in the studio. What a nice topic indeed. Please, in a situation where a young man invests huge resources training a girl, and after attaining a certain status, the girl starts asking for a breakup just because her status has changed. In this case, can you call it a proper breakup from a relationship? It will not be proper, but you cannot help. You cannot also help the situation.
Answer you, brother, in pidgin, not in English. Okay. We don't want una for the place. Say make una not carry money pump and for woman is king. We never marry.
Put it for us.
We warn you. Put it for us. Give first belly, second belly. Where don't burn that time you invest. If you don't already spoil. If you want to commit yourself on that site. Man, talk for pidgin because you have heard me. We have been saying this thing on television over and over and warning you guys that stop investing in ladies you are not going to spend the rest of your life with in such magnitude. We are not saying that you despise a lady. Once you are befriending a lady, it is important for you to take care of the lady. But such huge investment, you take your money, you are sponsoring a lady to go to heights in education that you have not attained. You are risking your life. A woman should be growing to meet you up there, not that she's growing beyond you. It is natural whether she is born again speaking in tongues. Once there is that gap distinction between you and the person, that respect will never be the same. A woman will always submit to you when you are always at the top. Even in marriage, you must constantly upgrade yourself. Let that woman keep looking up to you.
Okay.
And the truth is that if you are about or if you want to invest, no, let it be. In fact, let it be a part of your conviction that you are helping. You are helping somebody. You are a humanitarian. Yes, this will be over. Let it be that you are just acting like a humanitarian. Let it not be that it is predicated on the aspect of marriage.
Yes.
It is predicated as of
The reward.
Even when it's even predicated, most of them don't even discuss it.
Okay, I want us to continue. Good evening, Mr. Leo. My name is Mary. I have been with my husband for 2 years, but now I don't feel anything for him anymore. Whenever he wants to have sex with me, I just get angry.
Yeah.
They are married.
Yes,
2 years.
She needs prayers.
Okay, she needs prayers.
Yes, she needs prayers. Because we know that love doesn't travel. With this one that you're on after 2 years took up a journey.
But Apostle, the Bible says the love of many wax cold.
Love
can wax cold.
Wax go for waiting.
No, love can wax cold.
The context of the love.
This passage
That the
always
context of the love there
this passage
is erotic love.
Yeah.
It's love for God.
Yes, no, we are not getting my point. You see that love of God where it used to be very strong, like that. When I checked it and I saw that it can go down, and I knew that this other ones, anyone can go down. I think, no, yes, this is it. If love for God can go down, any other one can go down. That thing disturbed me. I had to go right to the Greek. I had to say, whether is this, which love was that? Then I discovered it was actually agape that would wax cold. And then I realized that things must be kept aflame or in a particular way to be able to maintain. That's why I say oil in lamp can finish. So I think she needs prayers and counseling.
Yes.
Where we are looking at why the oil got finished. Because when the oil is not there, light no go be.
That's true.
Yes, I think it's very important.
And let me tell you, sister, sometimes that affection to make love doesn't mean you hate the man. Because couples sometimes can stay for 2-3 months without making love.
And they're in the house.
And most people want to ascertain that they are in love because they are making love. Please, if you don't feel anything serious for that man, doesn't mean that you don't still love the man. Something could be going on within this period. It just needs a lot of adjustment for things to be put in place. So don't think that because you're not making love, you don't love the man anymore.
Okay. Kwande Samson says, I'm watching from Limbe. David Nya says, I'm watching from Lagos, Nigeria. Juven says, I'm watching from Garwa. Tamukong and Jifon Mung Chumba says, what is the name of the new political party? I don't know. Ngala Evelyn Bongbimi, the new political party that is yet to be announced is Social Democratic Face Front. Okay. Ngala Evelyn Bongbimi says, I'm watching from Yaoundé. My special regards to the panelist, Dr. Apostle and Valentine. Please, we never yet see we own birthday cake for Angola. Yeah, okay. Ajebe Ejume says, I'm watching live from Bangen. Ginny Vicky says, I'm watching from Bomenda. Finan, they say, I'm watching from Dop. Mildred Singh says, I'm watching from Bomenda. Mbia Violet says, I'm watching from Bomenda. Ruben you says, I'm watching from Douala. Berenu Eve says, I'm watching from Yaoundé. Neba Raymond says, I'm watching from Equatorial Guinea. Peter Wingo says, I'm watching from Konsamba. Sunjo Sharon is watching from Douala. Fomo Lionel is watching from Gaundere. Ta Ephraim is watching from Bonamusa de Douala, not far from here. And Leopold is watching from USA New Mexico. Pascal Afumbom is watching from Bamenda. May Boris is watching from Yaoundé. Diamond Queen is watching from Douala. Njola Brenda is watching live from Kumbu. Eve Ngwe is watching from Bamunka in Dop, and Chance Kibi Bright watching live from Kumba. Chance, always glad to read from you guys, and we continue. I don't know, no, it's you who is coming in now. Yeah. We're talking about
asking me questions. It's me.
No, you just
spoke,
yes.
And then I took
the messages.
Yes, I took questions. Yes, we're talking about a breakup. He was talking about the best way of breaking up, and how soon should you decide to leave?
To leave or to
break up? On? Yes, to move on.
Come again, tell you.
How soon in a relationship should you leave? Must you stay for a particular duration in the relationship before making the world understood that I have tried my best, it's time for me to go?
No, it depends on the circumstances that are inherent in that relationship. Yeah, the surrounding circumstances, as you said, premarital issues, because we have to draw a clear line here. The ease with which we will recommend breakups when it is at a premarital level is not the same when we will recommend when it is already marriage. Yeah, when it is already marriage, the intricacies are really different and it gets more complicated. The issue is that if two people agree to marry, it is a very good decision, but it's not too strong a decision that cannot be reversed if things are not moving right. So if two of you have agreed and it is not moving, the best thing is for you to agree and move on. Each and every one of you can move on, because we have cases where one person has not been able to make a good spouse to another, and then to the other person, to another person else, the person makes a very good spouse. You may not be able to flow with somebody as a husband. For example, a man is talking there about somebody complaining about him because he's short. It may just be, maybe another lady may be just, I don't like tall people and stuff. So, and it also holds true for character. There are some people who like people who are really rugged. They don't like a man, for example, a woman will not like a man who is mild, who is not, who is gentle, who is too calm. No, they want somebody who is rugged, that kind of thing. So all of these things have to do with compatibility, because we are all built differently. Now, talking about how soon it will be for you to move on after a breakup. One of the things we want to encourage people is that after you've broken up, make sure you heal well before you engage another relationship. Except for cases where you were breaking up because you found a better match in another man or another woman.
No, I think his case is more of what point should they even break up?
He said so. I've responded.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so, and I'm saying that the aspect of moving on, people should move on when they, in fact, that's moving on. We'll talk about moving on to entering another relationship when you have healed well from the hurts that you contracted in the previous relationship. The reason is that if you leave and enter another relationship as a patient, because when you say you are hurting, you are a patient, it will be difficult for you to deliver in that new relationship. And at the end of the day, you see that you will only be breaking up and, entering relationship and breaking up because you have not healed well in order to deliver well, in order to have the lessons that you've learned from this previous relationship to apply them in this new one. The truth is that people who are always very fast when they break up, they are very fast. They think that their healing process will be crystallized by any other relationship. Not necessarily. There are times you will enter another relationship because you have broken up from another one and thinking that you want to heal, and you would rather just worsen things because you are entering with suspicion. You don't trust, and you are entering and you are like, all men actually the same. So I should be very careful so that what happened to me in a previous relationship should not happen to me in this other one. At times you may entering a relationship and to you it's like, if I'm not careful, if I don't take the caution that I need to take, I may face the same thing I faced in a previous relationship. So it is important that when you engage, do your best, work very hard with your spouse to be. People should try the best you can to conserve the relationship, to build on it. Yeah. But if it doesn't go as we've said, please, you people should separate, and when you separate, you're going to, it will be time for you to be able to, to think as to how you can move. But don't be in a hurry to contract another relationship, because it can only just be a Waterloo for you as you enter this new relationship.
Okay. Good evening, guys. Brazil boy. I'm watching from Limbe. Good evening to you, Brazil boy. Hi. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Please, there is this man. He is already married, but he told me that he loves me so much and wants to get married to me. He said he is with his wife in the house because his family forced him to get married, because he is the only boy to the family and he is having 3 children with the woman, but he doesn't love the woman and he loves me so much. Please, I'm confused. Please help me. Faith is writing from Douala. Faith.
He doesn't love the woman and he climbed on her and gave birth to the first child without love. He climbed again and gave birth to the second child without love. He climbed again and gave birth to the third child without love. When he will finish climbing on you 2-3 times with 3 children, he will start loving another woman. You people are seeing pure red flag. You are not learning. They forced him to marry the woman. Number one, if I thought they forced him to marry the woman, he would not have been sleeping with the woman. He have been giving birth to children with the woman. He can't give birth to 3 children with a woman. He has already built a family and he tells you he loves you. Who is convincing you that tomorrow you might not be kept aside also for him to love the next woman? When men have unsatiable desire to meet with several women, every man has an excuse for the next woman. Yeah, that's the simple truth. If I want to get a woman today, I will tell her that my wife is not treating me well. Even my wife is treating me well, so that she will feel pity for me and accept me. When I finish eating her own, also I start looking for them and say, I don't know what is really happening with me. Like some ancestral parts are tormenting me. This second woman also, I didn't really feel for her. I don't know. You are the person I'm looking at. So please, if you are ready for polygamy, go in. Don't think that it's because of so much love that a man loves that he wants to come to you.
Okay. Kecha Henry watching from Yaoundé. Good evening to you, Kecha Henry. Charlie watching from Mamfe. Good evening and wonderful program. Thank you, Charlie. Good evening, Epiasone watching from Tombel. Good evening to all of you guys watching us from Kupe Mwanenguba Division. Lots and lots of you up to Bangam. Good evening to all in the studio. I'm Harriet Bate watching from Kumba. There is this one I want someone to respond to. Good evening, Mr. Liu. My name is Mary. I have been with my husband for 2 years, but now I don't feel anything for him. You answered that already. Good evening, is Vanessa from Santa. I have been separated. Vanessa has moved on. Okay, I went to other message. Good evening to you all in the studio. I'm in a relationship with a guy for 10 years older than me. Though we love each other so much, but he doesn't take care of me. Love Doctor, you answer this, please. You have just, he's 10 years older than me. Okay. Though we love each other so much, but he doesn't take care of my needs. And also our genotypes are not matching. That is incompatibility. Yeah. Are not matching. He rains insults on me at any little quarrel. We have been in a relationship for 2 years and we were planning to get married. But I want to break up with him. But he is not willing to. Please tell me what I should do. But she says I still love him.
You see, that was the part I was waiting. You see, we are already, my hands are tied with that last statement.
Yes.
My hands are already tied. First thing is, look at everything she listed. Anybody in their right sense should already know that this thing is right to genotype. Even when people are in love and they have gone through all of other things, even as counselors, at that point we sit there and look.
End it.
This thing is dangerous because you
all
must
the
think
red flags
about,
are there.
All the red flags are there.
HIV.
Yes, better than HIV. No, seriously.
Yes, ma'am.
HIV can be managed right now.
Of course.
Yes, and they have children that are HIV free.
Of course.
So we must be very careful. The thing is, the error of our generation is that thing that they believe they can ride every wave with feelings.
Yeah.
That means everything is how I feel. I know how difficult it is. But you are talking about somebody who can take care, who can provide. You say he's older than you, 10 years. He's living in another generation. We don't want to talk about that. Now, and the worst thing is, even if I tell you to meet me for counseling, you'll be meeting me alone. I'll be counseling by you. Not even both of you. That brings another problem. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So I think at this point in time, you need to ask yourself a question. The truth is, when we start thinking about relationship before we start thinking about life, problem go every day.
That's it.
Most people are only thinking about marriage, wedding, how it will look. I think
lay emphasis on reason why.
Yes, I think the basic thing is
genotype.
I'm telling you, look at how it should be. Purpose. It should be life first. If you know where you were going to, you should be able to ask yourself questions.
Yes.
That is this, how will this thing favor that cause? That's the best thing I can say, because when you now can't tell me that
no, talk to her as a parent.
Yes.
Of what she says.
That's what I'm saying. That no, as a parent now, I'm asking.
That's enough.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. That how do you want to go do with your children? You put a genotype mismatch. That's already a danger, which I will never accept, no matter what, for you to get married. Secondly, you have to say that you don't know how to. When you say you don't know what to do because he does not want to break up, you have to be careful. You have to be careful. This is another red flag. When you are in a thing as if there is no way out. I think love should be a choice. It shouldn't be a cage. When you're already in something that feels like you cannot, I've seen this. This is not the first time. I think last week, Mr. Lou, another person came also was telling me that I've told this boy time without number and let it end. The boy keeps coming back. You must be careful. Those things are flags. And I think that you need to really sit down, do a reflection. It cannot go, madam. It cannot go. Embrace that. Take the shock. Cry if you must, but walk away. I don't think the man can come and break your door and force you. Yes. That's the best I can say.
Okay,
in addition,
okay, go on.
In addition to that, dear sister, life is more sacred than marriage. Let's preserve life. If there is no life, there will be no marriage. Life is a foundation for marriage. So once you want to enter into a relationship, think of how much life is in that relationship than the relationship itself. If the relationship will take away life, then it's not worth it. What if tomorrow you give birth to sickle cell children? That's life being taken because of a relationship you did not marry in the very beginning. So life is more sacred than marriage itself. So look for life first if you're entering into a relationship. If somebody has a genotype that will produce children tomorrow that will not be able to live and fulfill destiny, then the relationship is not worth going along with. And in other words, another thing we have to add again is that your feelings are not more important, or they are not too important than your destiny. So no matter how much you feel for that man, there's already a sign, a medical situation that is telling you that you're not going to the same destination with the person. If you are AS, you need an AA partner. You can't marry another AS.
Okay. This other one, so many cases here. Don't know whether we'll do a special program to counsel. This one says, good evening, Mr. Leo. I'm Cynthia from Bamenda. Please, I have been in love with this guy for 5 years, and we have 2 children. And within these 5 years, it has been so difficult for me because he is an illiterate. He doesn't admit his mistakes. Okay, I'm sure we have spoken about this. I'm sure it's you who keep saying that. Maybe the guy is an illiterate and you want to go out for a party. You want the guy not to talk and the guy keeps talking. How should she handle this situation?
Is it an unmarried person or it is
married?
They say I am with this guy for 5 years now.
With this week like that. Let's know.
I'm Cynthia from Bamenda. I have been in love with this guy for 5 years and we have 2 children. And within these 5 years, it has been so difficult for me because he is an illiterate. He doesn't admit his mistakes at all, and okay, I'm sure you want to say I'm tired of this. Please, Mr. Leo, what should I do? I don't know.
It depends.
Are you married?
Are you married or
in love with this guy?
being in love and having children? They have just yes.
The only thing that which we think you can bear when the relationship is doing this for, how do I put it, be sec. Is when you are legally married. We cannot really, we don't have facts to substantiate when the relationship is just come we stay. Yes.
Or just because we have kids,
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but if your sister told you that I'm in a relationship with this guy and tells it, what will you say? You tell
my
the
sister who is married or who is not married.
who is not married. What will you tell?
I will tell her.
What then you have put me in shame and you want to be asking me more shame.
I will tell her to leave.
So why not? Yes, why not tell her straight?
No,
I'll tell her to
that,
leave.
we have less facts here to know whether they are married or not married. That's what we're saying.
Okay. So now let us get let's get over to Bamenda to listen to Miss Yvette Sanji. Also tell us the healing process.
Talking about the process of healing, like I just earlier mentioned, you first of all need to accept what has happened. Because living in denial will take you nowhere. Like, oh, it has not happened. Oh, he has not broken up with me. No, she has not broken up with me. If you keep denying it, you are not, in fact, encouraging any healing process to take place. They have broken up with you. They have broken up with you. That's the truth. So no matter how the love was, like, okay, wow, this love was near perfect. It was almost perfect. But they have broken up with me. You need to accept it. No, I could not believe it. How can it happen? Our love was so perfect. Yes, but it has happened. So you need to stop looking at how it was and look at the present situation now, how it is. It's no more, so you need to accept it. Acceptance is the first step to healing. Now, when you accept what has happened, you sit down and try to examine, okay, what actually happened? It has happened already now, but what happened? How could I have stopped this from happening? Was it beyond my control? If you don't sit down sometimes to evaluate what has happened, how you've contributed to what has happened, or was it something that was totally out of your control, or was there something that you could have done, to save the situation? Because sometimes people sit and do nothing and say, okay, no, this one is more than me. Let me just accept it. But then there is still something that you can do even when almost all hopes is gone. Instead of just accepting the defeat, you could have still maybe do something. So was there something you could have done differently? If you were given the opportunity for that relationship to come back, what is it that you would do differently? Now, this is an honest retrospection. Like, you sit down, self-retrospection. You sit down and then begin to see what has happened, how you contributed to what happened, or maybe it was completely out of your control. Now, in a case where, let's say, for example, a guy just broke up with a lady because, oh, you're a single mother. Now, she's already a single mother. And if that is the sole reason for this guy breaking up with her, okay, then it's completely out of her control. It's not like she has done something at the moment that could be the reason for that. But if a breakup happens because maybe you cheated, then what caused the breakup is the cheating aspect. So which means that if you had not cheated, maybe the relationship would not have broken up. Cheating comes with a lot of, it entails a lot. It entails disrespect, dishonesty, you've been lying, there's trust issues. So these are the things that surrounds, let's say, a relationship that comes with cheating. Now, if you take time to examine all of these things, you're going to realize areas where you've made a mistake. And I will advise that if in the case where you realize that you are the cause of maybe the breakup, instead of moving into a new relationship, why not go back and try to mend things? I mean, you could try before it is not working. Because even as it stands, you are in pains because someone betrayed you or something. But it doesn't mean that you have stopped loving them at the moment. You are feeling pains, that's true. But the feelings you had for them is still there, and that's why you're even feeling pains. The presence of pains simply shows that this is someone you loved, you valued, but they have disappointed you. That's why it's painful. So instead of moving into a new relationship, why not rather see how you can go back to mend the old relationship? Except it's something that maybe, let's say, domestic violence and the rest, that your life was threatened and stuff. Okay, you could cry and then try to see how you can move on. Now, looking at the aspect of, after you have maybe examined everything, you have to forgive. You have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive the other person. Even if they have not asked for forgiveness. You are doing this because you need your peace of mind. You are doing this because you cannot move on with unforgiveness. If you carry unforgiveness into the new relationship, you just carry a load. And the truth is that most often the people in the new relationship suffer the load you are carrying from the old relationship. You have to forgive the person, forgive yourself, and then give yourself some time. This is a time where you want to be sure that you don't have any sort of unforgiveness, grudges, anything within you against them. Once you can remember the situation and maybe even just smile over it, then you can say you are ready for the next relationship. But if you can remember a problem and still have deep pains, it's not time for you to get into a new relationship.
Well, very much, Mrs. Sanj Yvette. Yeah, at what point after breaking up, how long should you stay before thinking of engaging in a new relationship?
My general advice to the public is this: once you break up, no matter how good you feel, avoid entering another relationship. I know you might say, oh, I've gotten over it, oh, I have this. No, because many a times your next relationship is a rebound. Sometimes it's either out of vengeance, out of ego, pride, self-preservation. It can, because you must first of all understand that the mindset, in fact, I think all our panelists here who are counselors will bear this witness, that there are many people who have divorced who came to us, and we, after talking, they realized that they did not learn anything. You can still see them making the same mistake. Why? I always told you that you don't just marry a person, you marry a mindset. That thing that attracts you, that thing that made you, let's say, made you to make that mistake, has not gone away just because the person walked away. That thing that made you make that choice until you have recalibrated, until you have been transformed in the way you think, in your focus, in your ideologies. The truth is, you will pick another person like that one, just in a different body, because that tendency of your choice
is still there.
It's still there. So this is the awareness you must have, when no matter how you feel. So I always advise, I've been in a breakup, I know I ended a very serious relationship, and they were already parceling gifts for wedding. That's how you had gone. So yes,
you're not compatible.
So
you're not the prophetic.
Now this is so this is the reality. And when I shared this, some people, but I said no, I know. When I figured that out, and today the lady is married with kids, and I can tell you that she'll be glad that it was a breakup, but it was not easy. This lady went home the day I called this lady. After, I remember I had gone for a retreat, and God had told me some things about my future. So I came back and said, her, my dear, I want you to sit down and think again whether you want to marry me. We're in a relationship. I said, just reflect over it. Let's give ourselves some 3 months apart. She went and collapsed that night. True story. She went and collapsed. They were fanning her the whole night. And these are the realities, because these are the things that come in and make some people say, hey, man, no go kill me, my pikin, no worry, we'll go married. And all of those kind of things. So I think when that happened, I remember when I met my mentor, the first thing he told me is, go and face your work. I don't want to hear anything about relationship right now. It's very important. You must calm down, because most of the times it is an erroneous thought to think that what would take your mind off that other person is another relationship. Now, if you do that, once the so-called thing now has calmed down, you might finally discover that you're the wrong person. And not only will you break up again, but you will break another person's heart. You must be careful. The things here, that's why, in fact, one of the effects, Mr. Leo, of people, some reason why some people are not having a good relationship in the future is because they are still connected to their past. That's why you wonder why that girl only want me wearing some particular shirt. Now the way that shirt be the fit onto your ex, you know like you like that shirt every day they buy for you. Wear that. You some mumu man, you never know fine thing. Wear this shirt. Wear the trouser. So idiot. So a lot of them, they are struggling. Sometimes they are struggling to make you like that person they miss. You are struggling. Instead of now experiencing this new person and experiencing their own uniqueness, you can be carrying that garbage from that side and be forcing it. So no wonder you are not satisfied with this other one, because you have not gotten to know the real person. You're only fighting to make that person who you are coming from. And it's very important. That is why I am so much for, if it has to break, make sure you do it successfully. That one, I always tell people, I said, if you decide you need a chop, you never finish break up. Because he didn't say it's choppy. Say, oh, I will die. Yeah, you didn't need a chop. You need to grow.
The man has moved on.
Yes, moved on. Like we have seen messages here, 5 years, and somebody is still hung up on it. And these are the realities of life. You must get to that point where you know that life happens and life moves on. The reason why we are talking is, please don't get it wrong. Like Reverend said, we are not here to say, oh, breakup is easy and sweet and nice, and we just walk away from a relationship. No, the truth
it's not easy.
Is, it can scar, especially it depends on how tight you wear and a lot of that. But let's make this very clear here, that more than 75%, why am I saying 75? I'm just being nice. More than 85 to 90% of people did not marry their secondary school sweethearts. Let's be realistic. very few people marry the first person they dated. No, I'm not. You can be one of the people, but very few people. Let's be honest. That's an exception.
I did not marry it.
Good. Okay, you did not.
16 girls.
Good. Okay, I first not marry the first 16. Doctor said yes. No, let's be honest. The first 16 girls you dated. No, look at it, Reverend. The moment we, let me use a word that doesn't exist, religiousize, or you understand, spiritualize realities. That's why we're having issues. I said this one time on air. I said the very fact that more than 90% of people don't marry the first person they dated should tell you that breakup is an inevitable part of dating. And we should be able to help people manage this. If not, they will have that fairy tale mermaid thing of shall shoe the feet and frog and kiss and turn into human beings. Fairy tale relationship where you are assuming that very first person, look at us from 2, that from 3 girls. Some of you were even naming children from 4, from 5.
No,
so we'll get 4 picking them. Well, picking name, the first one will be a Clarice, the other one name will be a Joyce, then the other boy name will be a Julius and all of those things. You are naming your kids with ladies.
From what?
No, from 3, from 5.
No, you said from 2.
No, these are things that,
man of God.
No, this is not this.
Okay.
Mr. Leo,
yes.
I was called the other day.
Okay.
In GTHS. No, please.
I thought you were sharing your experience.
No. Okay. I was called the other day in GTHS, and the prince. I had a whole session, council session. I wanted to start from Form 5. That the principal thinks I beg start from Form 2. You don't want to know what these kids are doing now. Trust me, we don't want to talk about those things on air.
Are you not seeing on social media?
No, it is terrible. So let's just keep that one first. If children are kissing in class and the teacher is passing and seeing them, the PK tell the teacher, say, move your eye. These are cases we're handling. So I just want to anyway, that's by the way. So my point is this. From 3, from 5, in our own time, we're sending letters. Let's talk about our time. We're sending letters. Oh, they send letters to go and give this. From 5.
In the garden of love, sadness is totally absent.
Opposite, you are sitting beside the quarter under the tree and people are discussing nothing and all of that. But you see, you start planning a life that is not real with somebody who has not even yet known how their future looks like. So my point is this: until we destigmatize, if that's a word, until we remove the stigma from breaking up and show people the reality, because even our children. Because even our children, if they don't know that this thing can happen, Mr. Leo, they can end up in depression. Our children can end up because rejection is part of life, and you can be rejected even in a relationship. I think we must man up and build the emotional intelligence to be able to handle and start by dating rightly, so that a breakup does not destroy you. Imagine, Dr. Ambe, you are dating somebody and you have already contributed money and bought land together. How will you start thinking about breaking up when you have contributed and bought land? And you see, things are really getting complicated.
In that emotional state when the love is sweet, they start planning with that thing.
Yes. So it is. I think when you break up, give yourself at least a year. Look, no matter how nice who is coming, don't think that the person is good enough yet, because you have not healed. You have not healed.
Yeah.
I advise you. This is my advice as the love doctor. Wait for 1 year. No matter how perfect the person look, don't trust your judgment then, based on where you are coming from. Build yourself. Keep following programs like this. Meet a counselor who can work with you 3, 4, 5 months. In fact, when you will get to that place, how many of us look back at our exes and ask ourselves, now wait till be the first they do me? Look at it. I'm telling you, you look back at the people you used to date and you're like, Masa, me too.
You don't try.
That is life. You grow up. So you don't try to distract yourself from that previous relationship or another relationship. You will end up hurting yourself again and hurting another person, because another person can be very serious and you finally discover that's not the person you want. So I think this is the best way. First, just stay for a year, focus on yourself, and then you can be able to figure out better as you build yourself.
Please, I'll ask some questions because many persons have problems.
Yes.
And we should just go. We should
yes.
be brief in answering them. Just tell them what they need to do, please.
Okay.
Good evening to everyone in the studio. Writing from Bamenda, my brother had 7 children with 3 women, but married to none. He is dead, but one of the women and the fridge is chasing away 2 of the children. What should we do as a family? Thank you. Nana is writing from Quen. Nana, can you just call us after the program? You need to talk with a counselor Oh, it's a bit complicated. Good evening, sir. I really love your program. My elder brother dropped out of evening school because of this crisis. He needs to learn how to read and write. We have no money, okay? This one says, I'm watching from Zambia. I was dragged to court, divorced by a lady because she feared if I took her to investigate cheating on her GSM network, she would lose her marriage. How can you forgive such a person? Most of my properties are taken away and even children are not with me. Okay?
She divorced. I don't understand.
No, she was dragged to court by a lady. Maybe she discovered certain things in
the lady's phone.
Yes. And then the lady now was...
his wife?
No. A friend. So the friend...
No, it's the wife.
Okay. It says, I'm watching from Zambia. I was dragged to court. Divorced by a lady. Okay, the lady divorced.
There's a man that's saying
divorced,
that.
okay,
The man
divorced
was,
him.
yes.
Yeah. Because she feared if I took her to investigate cheating on her GSM network, she would lose the marriage. How can you forgive such a person? Most of my properties are taken away and even children are not with me. It means the children are with the lady.
If she's going to lose the marriage and then she divorces, what was she afraid of?
No.
She simply went ahead, let it be that she's the one who has initiated divorce, not him.
Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, dear panelists. Yes, so he is saying, how do I forgive such a person?
You have to.
Good evening, dear panelists. I'm Bina, writing from Douala. I just started a new relationship with a guy for a month, but I discovered he went to the extent of asking my colleague out. So when I discovered and asked him, he accepted, and he is now asking for forgiveness. What can I do about this, please? I don't know. Just 1 month, and he's already asking your friend out.
Sister name is what?
Bina, yeah.
Bina. Bina, forgive him. The Bible says you forgive.
77 times 7.
Yeah, 7 times, 70 times. So forgive, brother. Forgive him.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Leo and humble panel. Please, I'm Lucy from Limbe. I went into a relationship with a guy. He had a child with a girl, but hid it from me after about a year. And so, in the relationship, I realized when the mother of the child showed up, but the guy kept on seeing its child's mother, in which I let it go. And we continued, but not knowing the girl is using the child to pull the guy until he has a second pregnancy. Wow. I was so angry and decided to let him go, but the boy doesn't want me to go until he is now pushing. He wants to get married to me. But the fact that he still went in and still had sex with the girl, I'm not really at peace in my mind. Please, I need advice.
What advice? Advise yourself. The advice you have to advise yourself is that if a man can hide the first child and still impregnate the woman, he still loves the woman.
Okay. Good evening, beloved gentlemen. My name is Mandela from Bamenda.
Yes, no, simple.
My wife said she wishes for a contract marriage in Cameroon, like what is happening in the USA. For example, where you can sign 2 years and after
Renewable.
that you can go your separate ways, or you sign again to continue. I don't know why she keeps saying that to me. We are officially married for 1 year. It's not applicable, but this is what she keeps
I'm
saying.
saying that the thing is, if somebody is telling you that 2 years renewable, I think that's not marriage. I don't think that should be marriage. People should just court, and if it can go, it cannot go. If after the 2 years of relationship, it cannot go, you cut it off.
God. I will have the bowels to say I'm going for one week with such a person. If you're already, it means you are not ready for marriage.
I'm just saying that maybe the person is just carrying a foreign mentality. So I'm saying that let the person, let them. But it's.
You say that before you finish landing, I'll just say, Auntie, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, and the girl who's asking for it.
A lady is asking this, and you are still keeping her.
Nah.
I say, before you finish speaking, I'll just say, okay, bye-bye.
Okay,
God bless you.
good evening, sir. I'm Winifred from Bamenda. I'm 22 years. I have this guy I was dating. He meant everything to me, but now I'm depressed, heartbroken, and I went for checkup. Notice I have had problems, all because of him. The truth is, I love him so much, and I have no access to him because he blocked me. Please, I need help. This is an issue of, we have said severally that relationship or marriage is beyond love now.
Yes.
Because this is feelings.
We keep saying
But
this.
yeah, people need to, I don't know.
A relationship gave you heart problem in the hospital. You are still missing the man.
Yes.
When they will remove your eyes and cut your hands, that's when you will understand that that thing that you are entering into is coffin or casket prepared for your burial.
No, the thing is, until we see this, that marriage goes beyond hormonal feelings, we are going to keep, because if it does not break up now, it will still end to divorce. We must be careful. How can you be already having palpitation? I told one of my son who was about to travel and he was with a relationship, and then he's always worried. Oh, I don't know, suddenly my woman then. I said, my son, you are worried like this while you are here. Then when you would travel, you know, left man rest now. Now you record. Now we ask me say, who's a woman? They said, so be careful. I don't think a relationship should be giving you tension. It should bring you at peace. I think that should be something that you look at. Say he will speak peace until. I think peace should be something that both parties should look at, not even just the men. Something that gives you peace and rest.
Yeah, but I don't know whether it's Dr. Ambe or Pastor who takes this. The question here is breaking up. You said you've written about it that it is better, and you say it's better than that life is more sacred.
Yes.
But so many persons are hurting because of feelings. Yet we have said severally that there are so many factors that should be considered when we engage in a relationship or marriage.
Yes, Mr. Joe. Let me come in. We cannot deny the place of feeling in relationship. We are not extraterrestrials. We didn't fall from space. Even those of us talking here, before we got married, we had feelings. We cannot deny the place of feelings. The problem is you must have a willpower, emotional intelligence on how to drive your feelings. Do not allow your feelings to override you. For instance, we all have anger. If I allow my anger to cut Reverend Ken's ear, I don't have emotional intelligence.
Yes.
That anger will boil. I should want to tell where it's supposed to settle. That feeling for that man will definitely come. I should be the one to tell where the feeling should settle. The ability to insult somebody may come up, but I should be the one to tell where the ability that feeling should end. What we are trying to talk here is that people have first degree in mathematics, economics, accounting. They all have first school living certificate in emotional intelligence. And that emotional intelligence is what determines the direction of those degrees are obtained in university. I'm telling you the truth. That's one aspect that we have not, they don't teach in school. But it's what controls our spiritual life, our life every day, our day-to-day life. And people don't have any knowledge. You see, PhD holders, master's degree holders, those from Harvard, they lack emotional intelligence. What makes a man who has a PhD from Harvard to beat a woman in the house and kill? What makes a man from Oxford University to kill a lady in the house? Is academic intelligence without emotional intelligence. What this young girl is suffering has nothing to do with academics. And you will realize it's illiteracy. It's not illiteracy. Some people are well educated, but they cannot control their emotions. These emotions we have been singing on this platform is that you should be able to know how to keep your temperament. I can love you until I'm dying, but I shouldn't turn a slave or become a slave behind you because I love you. I should be able to know how to tame that affection and keep it under control. This is where the problem is. You feel for somebody, you have affection for somebody, you are yearning for somebody, but the person does not want you. The issue is start channeling your energy towards something else.
Yes.
That's how you shift or you switch your emotional drive. You channel your energy to something else. Some people drive their own into too much eating. Some turn their own into sleeping. Others turn their own to studying. Others focus on their work. Others travel.
Yes.
That's how it is. So you must be able to devise a means on how to channel the energy you have and that feeling you have for somebody towards something else, because the person is not embracing it. The issue is every relationship that's not reciprocated should not be appreciated. The truth is that's the blatant truth. When you are moving towards somebody and the affection is there and the person is not reciprocating it, sister or brother, keep it somewhere. The only problem we have is that a lot of people are in love with people who are not in love with them. A lot of people are in love with those who are not in love with them. And it becomes very complicated.
Apostle, I think that will not be called love. That's infatuation. Because, as you said, love is supposed to be a two-way traffic.
Of course.
If you are demonstrating love towards somebody and the person is as blank as anything, the person is as unresponsive as anything, what is that thing that keeps nurturing love in you for that person? I don't understand. So what is supposed to be is that intentionally live, sister, live intentionally, because whether marriage or no marriage, people should live. Don't kill yourself. Don't kill another person.
Life is more sacred than any relationship.
Because
in addition to that, I want to advise those of you who are crazily in or crazily affectionate, not love, towards one another. Please, the best way to mend or to handle that kind of situation, travel out. The more you see person, the more you are close to, the more you hear them, the more it fans aglow your affection towards them. If you go to a distant area, that communication stops, those things will die.
I beg to say something, especially in my generation that is coming up. You see, the major issue with, especially in my generation and those coming up, is that our dials have been, when something is already out of dial, it's weighing when there's nothing on top. When have you ever seen a pan that is weighing, when they have affected its weight? You see, we have heightened our emotions too much. That's why you see our generation, any small thing, an 18-year-old is saying that she's depressed, or I will kill myself. I think we are not, our emotional spikes have been spiked a lot, especially from the songs we listen to. It has been heightened by the environments we are in, the kind of love songs, Indian movies we watch, all of these things have fed us in such a way that is making us a reason why, doctor, you will see people, we want to replicate those things they have seen in the movies. They keep dying. That's the reason, like you're saying, what is nurturing that? Something else is feeding that. Which is not something else is feeding. It comes from I told you that I have to know how people think. Listen to the songs they listen to. Listen to the song. Your low waist, your this. I just want your body. It's your butt. The way she can see the way we describe. You see all of that, and now it makes that is the things we keep looking for. We keep I think our dance. You see, you are talking about this emotional intelligence thing as if it's a joke. Even our financial intelligence, which has become the song of the recent times, is now affected by emotional intelligence. One wrong move can destroy a lot of things. So I think we must take emotional intelligence very seriously.
Very seriously.
But what is that people should learn to own their happiness. Learn to own your life. Because if you take your life and hinge on a man, you hinge on a woman, it should be at least, as Apostle said, it is. We cannot deny the place of affection.
Yes.
We cannot deny emotions. At least they exist. But if it has gotten to a point where you cannot own your emotions rather own you, there is a problem. What happens is, if it is not going, you can intentionally say that I am driving my attention to something else. Now, most of the times, one of the things that disturbs people is that there is this feeling that I will feel jilted. It will look like I'm unworthy. It is not necessarily so. There are some people who are walking out of your life. It is a blessing to you. There are some people who are walking out of your life. It is to open doors, because a bucket that is full cannot receive more water. When the person in your life is like there is a way it blocks. He stands at the door and blocks. So this issue of somebody wanting to die because somebody has jilted you or there is a breakup, there is no need for that. Yes, it should pain you for 1 month, 2 months. When it starts getting to 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, you are unable to eat. You are cutting down and stuff. There is no need for all of that. You can intentionally own your life. You can intentionally move on. You can intentionally become who you want to become in life.
Okay, I want us to react to this, please, very briefly. I have this issue to share with you all. I have tried, but please stop calling. I've tried, but I need advice at this point in time. Hobby and I have 3 children, and I've been married for a couple of years. I started hearing rumors about him having kids out there, but there was no evidence. We have been having issues for some months now, which have finally led to the truth. My husband has 9 children out there. The house we live in, I borrowed money, bought the plot, and he added only 50K in it. We have just finished 1 bedroom and a parlor where we are managing. With the children, I don't confuse. I don't cry tire. School fees, so na me the struggle with my small business. I don't know what to do, sisters. it's not even as if he earns much. And he says he doesn't know what pushes him into making babies all around. Maybe there are even other babies on the way.
Stray bullet.
Child.
You built the house, he built the family. You built the building, he built the community. So by the time you were building that building, he was building a village.
Apostle, this is serious.
Value, allow us to laugh at so naturally. You're already married to him, and you have children for him. The legality of a woman over a man is marriage certificate. The legality of a child to a father is birth certificate. The children can always come, but the wife that is not married to cannot come and take your property.
Yeah.
So since your children already have a family, stay with them. And if at all anything happens tomorrow,
9 children.
yes, that's what I'm saying. It is you are the one in the house. Number one, you have invested so many years. You've invested your life. You've invested even your finances in the relationship. Backing out at this level makes you a loser on all fronts.
Okay.
Stay in the relationship. You have authority over the man because of a marriage certificate.
Okay.
The children have access to have birth certificate.
In fact, there are sometimes that people fighting some battles that are beyond them. So it's not also good to take the man's confession with a pinch of salt. The man says he doesn't know what is doing him. At times, the man might actually be trying.
Reverend, the thing has already done the man.
No,
He's not going to do him. We could prevent it if he was still to do him.
No,
it has already done him.
Apostle is not get the last part. Then she's afraid some of the children are still on the way coming again.
So he cannot. Mr. Leo, we're talking about 9 now.
9.
We could prevent this man at 1, 2. We found the disease at 9. Let's just leave it if it is going to 20.
No, Apostle. I don't think. Yeah, that's where I was driving. That's where I was driving.
That he needs prayers.
There are some people who are fighting some battles.
Yeah. Also,
there are people who are fighting some very strong battles in their lives, which at times it is easy to bash them, but without knowing exactly how they try as much as possible to do so. We can.
Okay. Good evening, panelists. I'm reading this from Bamenda. I have been with a man for 6 years, and we have a child of 4 years. Okay. In December, he said he wanted to do my knock door, and I told him to officially present me to his family, since I have done same to him. And he refused, saying that I cannot force him to do something which is not yet his time, that he will introduce me at his own time. Then I refused, and he accused me that I might have seen he's better. What should I do?
I think we must. I keep begging, ladies, please. A man that is not married to you, stop giving that person your time and your life like that. Because at this point in time, the man, I've seen cases where the man even tell you that I don't have money now, but he's doing other things. We have seen my man always say I don't have money. I've seen even the woman finally go and give money. The man take and all of those things. So we must be very careful. Read the signs. I'm saying this because it's not only her. Read the signs, and we are using this to advise ladies out there, because there's another person that is about to enter 2nd year, which will turn to 6 years also very soon. Okay, be very careful.
Good things.
Lady, in addition to that, a man should be excited to take it to his parents. Yes. When you start preaching him to take it to his parents, that's a Christian nonsense.
Okay, that's a red flag. Okay, greetings, Mr. Leo and panelists. I love watching your program. Please, I need your help. There is this guy that has been asking me out for more than a year now. I keep turning him down because I'm still healing the healing process from my past relationship. He went to the village and asked to see my parents, since we are from the same village. He told me he is ready to keep it legally. I don't know, I'm sure to marry. Now I'm confused. I don't know what to tell him. Please help me.
Is the man wanting to kidnap her? Let heal, sister, heal. when you would have healed, you cannot give him the go ahead. Why is he?
Why is he trying to
Is it by
skip?
fault?
Why
is
should you be confused? That's not even a case to be confused. Because that man, you are the legal entrance to your parents. For him to go to your parents, he has passed through the window.
Yes, it's not supposed to be so.
The legal entrance to your home is a door.
Okay.
Going through your parents is a window.
Good evening to everyone in the studio. I got married 11 years ago to my husband, but I didn't know a lot of things about him. Later on, he told me he can't read and write. I didn't get angry, but told him I can teach him. He agreed, but he is not showing any signs to do that. It has been over 7 years now. He doesn't want to improve. I'm an actress, and I want my man to match up to me in public. He can't even make a good financial decision. We have 3 kids already, but I want to quit. I love him, but the educational barrier is like an embarrassment to me. I want to be proud of the man I married. You have said it severally that when you get married, or you should
Upgrade.
Severally.
A woman
Yeah.
can marry you as
No,
a
but my
seed.
major point is that how did he not even first of all know? That's my red flag. How come she married this man and she does not even know the man can read or write? Discovered it but in the house. First problem. That's my first issue. And then now you have children with the man until how many years? Then you are saying now that after how many years and after your children, if that was a major concern, if that is already a major concern as an actress, I think when you are already dating and everything, you start finding out not that the person must be perfect. Are you understanding me? My major concern with that message is the fact that she is discovering, but even in the house, it's already an issue to me.
Did you see the scenario? Did you see the scenario?
Mean that
Did you
nobody
see
makes a mistake. It means when somebody tells you that I told you, you say, why did you fret until you fix that before?
Did you see the scenario that took place recently in Dunamis Church, where a lady who has a BSc in law
Could not
express herself while testifying?
Yes.
And she was insulted that she is faking
She's
the
facing
testimony until research was carried out.
And she actually has
Sometimes there are people who can even speak good English who are not educated.
Yes.
You understand? Maybe in the course of the relationship.
No, but it's excuse. She said when she discovered, and she told this guy that I will teach you. But over the years,
He has refused to learn.
Yeah,
that's what I keep singing here now.
I wanted to say that what I want to say about this is this. You know, most often this has to do with those who are yet to marry.
But we have received so many messages from ladies complaining that
of course
my guy does not.
They can accept
but
you.
you have said that several
over. They have accepted you as a seat. They can't remain a seat.
There are people who don't have some things now. And when you look at them, there are signs that they can want
have in the future.
But they can want to have.
That's what I'm telling you.
They can want to have. If that is the scenario, at least it is possible. You can at least agree with that this person, because there are some people who are they are not literally like that. And each time there's going to say, I want to leave me without a book thing. Do you think that's somebody who want to learn tomorrow?
No, it doesn't want.
You will not want to learn tomorrow. So the best of things to do is that if it is that's a key factor, a key criterion for you to marry someone, you better back out at the premarital stage. That is entering into it, and then you have been with the person and stuff, and then getting to also maybe because at times the man may be listening to us. The man also, if you are married to a woman and the woman is upgrading, you should. What is the matter with you that you should also upgrade?
That's why there are equally cases where people sometimes enter into a relationship thinking that they will get better along the line. This one is a case of refusal, because the lady has attempted to grow up the guy. The guy has deliberately refused to grow.
But did she see the signs of the man wanting to grow? Because as I've said, there are people who from the onset there, the signs are very clear that this person, this is not his calling.
But she says he accepted.
But he refused. We are talking about that was my point.
Anyway, they call it, is it the sixth sense?
Yes, where you are able to especially since it's a major thing for her. Yes, especially she knew where she was going to. I've always said, don't only marry who the person is, look at the person's ambitions and dreams. Look at a person's ambitions and dreams. If not, one day you can be a stumbling block to the person's progress, which you are supposed to be a companion.
Facilitator, yeah.
Yes.
Because
good evening, Dr. Apostle Valentine. I'm Amma, the man whom 1 year ago I told you my legally married wife sent my daughter to Nigeria. Okay, and let's unpack out from the house. The matter was in court and her family told to withdraw the matter for reasons. In December 2023, they will bring back my daughter. I withdrew the matter, but up to date, my daughter has not been brought back from Nigeria to me, please. Please help me for my worries. Is my daughter still in Nigeria?
Mr. Ama, you were supposed to have left the case pending. You should have withdrawn the case. So that anytime you go, you can open the file. A file can remain in court for as long as it is there. You can always go and open the file with time. Withdrawing the case made no sense. Because the experiences you had when this child was taken to Nigeria that we shared on phone privately on the background tells you that your wife had made up her mind that they will know, because it's like your brother-in-law had adopted your daughter. I wouldn't want to give your daughter back to you anymore. That's the situation. Yes, that's the situation. It was a very complicated situation. I've been talking with him over the phone for a very long time. He's brought it down, so I'm left with nothing to address it. He shouldn't have withdrawn the case. He should have just allowed the case lie low. The file can already be open now. They can always go and open the file. So it's not still late. You can still go back and go back to the case. And then
you need your child.
You need your child.
You open back
it's a legal procedure. I think, Leo, we should organize a program talk about the place of legal operations in marriage. Most people don't know certain legal operations in marriage. Maybe we need also a legal mind here.
Yes.
But most people don't know.
Yes.
Most people don't know.
Oops, today we have so many cases.
Yes.
I don't know. People are really suffering. Please, Mr. Leo, there is this situation I'm in too. Please, I'm married to my husband and we have 2 children, and he got another girl pregnant and was hiding it from me. The girl just texting me these days to tell me that she has a child for my husband. Please, I'm confused. Just write me after. I'll connect you to a counselor to talk with you. Okay. Now, what must we not do? Because we are talking about the do's and don'ts. What should we not do when we break up?
When you break up, don't build a permanent mindset about the opposite gender.
Okay.
After you've broken up, don't build a permanent mindset, because there are some people after breakup, all of what comes out of their mouth is women are, men are, women are, men are. They have
entire race.
They took
entire gender.
An entire gender or an entire tribe.
Entire race, entire tribe.
They just draw a conclusion about the people and then just begin to bash them, which is not good. The truth is that when you have an accident, with a car accident, it is still another car that takes you to the hospital. There are people you may not be able to pull along with them in a relationship, but there are others that the happiness the rest of your life will be linked to your relationship with them. So that kind of mindset where you have had a breakup and you've decided to build a permanent mindset is not a good one. At least allow yourself heal and then be open again. I spoke with a lady recently who had a breakup, and she's like, no, I cannot. I say, as the more you keep saying that you don't want to contract another relationship, the more the doors are blocked.
Yes.
But if you open yourself up, say, okay, I think I've healed now and I'm open up for relationships, men will come in and you'll be able to get somebody who is the best fit for you. Some relationships are just pedagogic. The man came into your life just for you to learn some things. Yeah. Another one, the lady came into your life so that you can just learn some things and adjust some things about your character. The moment the things are okay, the person moves out. It is not a bad thing if you have broken up with such a person. It is just a preparation for the next relationship that you're about to enter into. And if you spend your time crying over spilled milk, you would have been doing yourself good. You're doing yourself a disfavor.
I think another thing that you should not do is don't build a vengeful mindset.
Yeah.
This is another thing, especially for ladies.
Yes.
It's easy for guys. Guys, I don't know, but somehow guys easily let go. But you see, honestly, guys easily let go.
Yeah.
But you see, girls often build a vengeful mindset. I always tell some people, I said, imagine say Papa God be the revenge for me, that will not reciprocate in love. Like, where are we going to be?
Everybody would have been there.
Yeah. So the truth is, when you're loving, it's a risk. The fact that you love does not mean it will be reciprocated. God has done it so many times, and not everybody will accept it. And so we must understand that when it is pure, wish them well. They may have hurt you, but walk away. And when you walk away like that, without that vengeful mindset, you actually leave room for the healing process to be faster, as well as you don't hurt yourself in the process. I always say that anger, pain, holding grudge, and unforgiveness is like drinking poison and wishing another person dies. So avoid a vengeful mindset. Unfortunately, there are many girls that when they break up, they swear, if I no go get you, no man for this life no go get you.
Yeah, of course.
Where you start seeing people start sharing secrets that their spouses or their partners told them in confidentiality, that's vengeance has come in. I've often said that when you hear a girl come and is confessing online, I have given my life to Jesus, I want to say it as a pastor, and then the person is telling you that I want to confess that I slept with so and so person. Now the person slept with a pastor, yes. Then after the pastor, the person slept with another person. But the person is never confessing who the other person, who they slept with after. You have never confessed about all the 5, 10 men you slept with before the pastor. So you will see that a lot of times that confession is not about confession. Is that since that man hurt you, you know that this confession will hurt his ministry. Let's be honest, many of those confessions, many of those things, many stories, a lot of times when you build that vengeful mindset, sometimes you go around and start sharing the person's nakedness. I talk about nakedness, not like necessarily nude pictures, but we are talking about the person's weaknesses, the things that you got to know just because of intimacy and your closeness. So that also will destroy you. Take note, all the people who are coming to you for G's and you are destroying the other person will never trust you. All those same people will never choose you. The more you are being destructive and people are hailing you because of vibe and content, the more, take note, that the real people who can value you and care for you will know that you yourself are seeing a red flag. That is very dangerous. So don't build a vengeful mindset also. Yes, we know that there was hurt, there was pain, but that's part of life. Just like how you can write an exam and fail, and you wake up and do it again. Just like how you can drive a car and have an accident, and you wake up and do it again. I think relationship should understand that sometimes these things happen, but don't carry that vengeance. It will affect your future. That's just one of the things also that you should not do.
Okay, let me take some of the problems and see if we can even attempt.
Problems are too much.
Yeah?
Problems are too much today.
The case is a few minutes.
Okay, breakup case. Hello, good evening to you all in the studio. I'm Madam Marian from Bamenda. I just broke up with my boyfriend a few minutes ago. I went to his house this evening. I met him with a lady. Apparently, he has been with this lady before we met. Before, one thing is if he had valued me as a girlfriend. Girlfriend boyfriend issue, that should not really be the focus. If somebody has not married you,
yes,
yeah,
yes. If somebody has not married you, you cannot guarantee that you are you own the person. Okay. Because some men believe that staying with you alone will not make them make the right choice. Yes. So they have at least 3 to find who is the real person that they can settle with. That's why they can live with you for 5 years and marry somebody after 1 month.
Good evening, Mr. Liu and the crew. I'm Neves. Please, my husband and I are Christians, but due to some misunderstandings, he wants a divorce. It's hard for me to accept. Please help me out. We are legally married in 2021. You will need a counselor. Can you just write me after so that somebody can counsel you? Yeah. Good evening, Great Minds. A very impacting program. My concern here this evening is this issue of forgiveness. I think we need to rethink an actual meaning of forgiveness in every domain in life, especially when it comes to the layman conception to the word forgiveness. For instance, in the Bible, Jesus says, forgive 70 times 7. Question, how many apples did Adam eat? Away from that love, from that, love is not love. It's not sufficient enough to support relationships. Rather, knowledge, wisdom to an extent should be of essence. Okay, I'm learning. Okay, good evening to you people. I'm watching from Amanda. I'm living with the father of my children. He had a child before we met with a lady, and then he later said he doesn't love the lady and he chose but me. I'm having 3 children with him. So when one of the twins died, I went to my village for just 1 month, and he invited the lady in my absence, and the lady later called him, telling him she's pregnant. I don't know, should I forgive him? Not. Okay.
Password. I don't love that woman. That's the password they use to penetrate you ladies. A man will tell you, I don't love a woman. A man will tell you, I don't love a woman. A man can't love a woman and be impregnating her. A man can't love a woman and be spending time with her. A man can't love a woman and then after you give him space for 2 weeks, he impregnates a woman after he has first of all impregnated a woman. Now, which hatred that? If you don't love him, what do you have for him? Pity?
I think most of these girls want to hear that you are having issues so that it can justify their being with you. That's the truth. That's why it's easy for them to take it, because the truth is the signs are always there. You understand? A lot of times they always ask, is something wrong? Or what is happening? And a lot of times it's like you said, it's the password, because
yes.
they are accepting that password.
The password,
the password they enter.
The
password they
pass. His password.
Yes.
So you have to pass. It has to pass. How do you feel when a man who loves you says he does not love another person?
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I am a pastor and I have 3 kids with my wife. She has a serious weakness that is greatly affecting the ministry. She keeps no secret, and this has caused most of the Christians to leave the church. I've tried to counsel her to no avail. Please, men of God, help me, because I think the only solution now is separation.
No separate.
Pastor Kevin.
Don't separate. Keep secrets from her. Keep secrets from her.
Simple.
Immediately you discover that she cannot keep secret, build a hedge around and manage the secrets that goes to her. The thing is, if you expose secrets to somebody who can talk, who shares, it must be known. Because we cannot be here and tell you that you just go and send her away. That's not an easy way.
That is not possible. Yeah. Pastor, you have to learn how to adapt to certain weaknesses of your partner.
Yes.
If we are to separate for every weakness, then there is no marriage that's going to last on this earth.
Yeah, but the ministry is also suffering.
The ministry is
that's what I'm saying.
The ministry is because of the pastor's ignorance. The pastor is watching this program. Let him follow what we are saying to him. Your wife, I repeat, must not be privy to every information that concerns the ministry.
Exactly.
That's the reason why God spoke things to Sarah, didn't tell Adam.
Yes.
Follow me very well. God spoke things to Rebecca that he did not tell Isaac. So you should be able to understand what is meant for your consumption and what is meant for the family. Most pastors think that their wife has the same spiritual capacity with them and they have the right to have access to every information. Yes. That's an error on your part.
Yes.
I have taught in different pastors and leaders conferences, and we lay emphasis on what God gives you as secret to the ministry is not for your wife.
Yes.
When God told Adam not to eat the food, he didn't tell Eve. Everything God told the pastor, the wife had to know according to your religion and your system of ministry and leadership, then God will not be telling Rebecca that the children in your womb are 2 nations. The elder man shall serve the younger man, without telling Isaac, who was the father. And when it was time for the blessing to be given, the woman who had the true prophecy diverted the blessing to the right person. We call Jacob 419. A mother was the one that orchestrated that activity because she got an information that was meant for her and the prophecy of the child, not for the father. So please, if you are running a ministry, be very careful and know what your wife can handle, what she cannot handle. And this is what has caused most pastors also whose wives are not called as pastors. They call them and give them pulpits.
Yes.
And then the woman tells tomorrow and destroys the ministry. You say they destroy the ministry. No.
I think that is one angle. That's one phase of the whole situation. It is more intricate than we appear to approach it. That is one angle. What about the cases where she is the one who has the source of the secret? So I think with this
source,
like they come and tell me how.
Yeah, it is her who has the information that she's want to even inform the pastor, because as his wife, there are things that
they come and tell her.
It is her.
Yes, okay.
It is just one side.
True. Some people come and open up to her.
And then she will not take and broadcast. So with such a thing, it is it is good to, as you said, counseling and prayers can sort it out, because such a person, when you look at such a person, the person might be a sanguine by temperament. The person is a sanguine. Those people who don't, in fact, they cannot keep a secret. There are people like that. There are people who, in fact, it just takes the grace of God over time for them to actually, go back to
that ministry.
It affects. I know the pain of that man. I know how
that can be not easier.
Yes, because there are things which
even in church that people like to talk to, but now one they ever broadcast.
Yes. So it is a very challenging situation, because there are pieces of information that
let us get the last intervention of from Mr. Sanj Yvette before we wrap up for tonight.
So getting into a new relationship should be just when someone has truly healed. You don't need someone to help you in the process of healing. It is a journey you have to travel along alone. You might need a shoulder to lean on when you're crying. That's why we ask for friends. When we say shoulder to lean on, we don't mean another lover. It's not possible that you can actually love at that moment. It's impossible. Let's stop deceiving people. Let's stop deceiving ourselves, sorry. It's not possible that you can love another person. So if you need a shoulder to lean on, that shoulder that you need to lean on, you could be a friend, it could be a family member. Yeah, it could be maybe siblings. You could share your pains with them, and then they help you, talk with you, and then walk you through, encourage you, link you up to maybe positive motivational speakers where you can have kind of self-growth, self-development. And one of the greatest things you can do after a breakup is work on yourself. Imagine carrying the same weakness that caused a breakup in the previous relationship. You carry it into the new relationship. It will eventually break up equally. So while you have broken up, I say every breakup deserves a break. That break is a period where you are taking time to do what? You're taking time to work on yourself. What are the strengths? What are your weaknesses? How can I manage? I understand that there are things about like temperaments that will never change, but you can manage those things. If anger is what caused your breakup, then you think that you can move into the next relationship because maybe that person was the problem. As long as you're dealing with human beings, you have every reason to get angry. And if you don't, if you have anger issues and you don't work on them, the relationship will eventually still break up. So a breakup requires a break, and what you do within a break is you work on yourself. I mean, build your self-esteem, because sometimes breakup comes and destroy your self-esteem. Like you begin to doubt yourself. Worse is when they leave you for somebody else. Now you always want to compare, like, what? So this person he left me for, or she left me for, are they better than me? And then the worst is when, if the person is better than you, maybe more beautiful or more handsome, the pain is different. You're going to feel, you feel so challenged, like, wow, how can he do this? So this lady actually stole my husband, or stole my boyfriend, or this guy actually stole my girlfriend, or stole. It's a lot. So you take your break, you work on yourself, build your self-esteem. If that self-esteem was broken down, maybe due to the challenge of that, maybe they were dating someone better. They are better, but nobody is like you. Take note of that. You are unique. And the truth is that in this life, nobody has it all. Like, they might be beautiful more than you, you are beautiful more than another person, or they are handsome more than you, you are handsome more than another. Somebody passes you with something. Nobody has everything. So accept that you are you and you're unique. You don't need to, fight or compete with somebody because they look more handsome or more beautiful. Accept you for you. Yes, maybe if you're a chubby lady and then they go after a slim lady, okay. If you see that there's need for you to work on yourself, maybe do some exercises. You're not doing it for him. If you see need that this is not who you used to be, maybe you are not a chubby person, that's fine. But if you are naturally a chubby person, you might, even if you want to do a lot of exercise like what, that's you is still you, and someone is gonna love you for you. You don't need to become someone else. So if they left you a chubby lady for a slim slay queen, okay, well, thank God for the slay queen. You remain remain unique. Don't try to cut down now to become a slay queen, because it might not even fit you. Accept you for who you are. Someone is going to love you for who you are. If they don't value you, if they don't appreciate you, someone will come to love you, value you, appreciate you for who you are. So sometimes we can be tempted to be carried along, with this competition of he is better than me or she's better than me, and then it affects our self-esteem. Now you cannot even move into a new relationship with low self-esteem. You just be stressing the other partner. So take your time, take a break, heal, work on yourself, become a better you. even before you're engaging a new relationship. Thank you so much, Mr. Leo. And just a reminder to our viewers, we have our book launch, pre and post marital agreements, coming up on the 26th of May, 2024. Thank you so much, Mr. Leo.
Okay, thank you very much. We're out of time, but I must take this one. Good evening, Mr. Leonard, and to all the panelists. I'm Golof Ambe, watching from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Jubail Dammam. Please, Mr. Liu, you should help me with Apostle Ambe's number. Thank you. After the program, just remind me to do that. Please, Mr. Liu, I don't want you to call my name. Okay. The name was called already, which means that I will not share it. It's quite pathetic. I will not share it. Okay. But just if you're watching the program, just remind me to share Dr. Ambe's number with you, or I will do that straight away, so that you can talk with. It's a serious case where even you work money, you're taking care of your wife, you are away, and your wife is having another guy, to the point where the guy is laying claim on your second child. Yeah, so I'll give you Dr. Ambe's number, you guys. Thank you for coming, Reverend. He made a request.
He directed it. No, thank you very much, Mr. Leo, for having us this evening. We appreciate our viewers for how interactive they made the program to be. Please, let's do our best to keep these relationships cultured so that life is preserved in its sanity and nobility. Thank you, and we'll be here again as God gives us grace.
Okay, thank you too for coming, the love doctor.
It's always a pleasure. Take note, emotional intelligence is a must. Build yourself so you can navigate. You must be master of your emotions. If not, all other intelligences will bow, and you're going to make mistakes that is going to ruin all other beautiful things in your life. I am Apostle for Divine, aka the Love Doctor. Please always take opportunity to meet these counselors one-on-one. You have the privilege. You can get our numbers, and as well as attend events that they are hosting in any town, so that you have a privilege to meet them one-on-one. Thank you for always watching my Major Prime and for being part of this conversation in this beautiful program. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Ambe, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Leo. It's always a privilege to be here. We keep telling Cameroonians, if you have adverts, run them through this station. It is widely watched across the globe. And I think if you run any advert through this station, you're going to have
especially this program,
especially through this program also, because we have calls from practically almost every part of the world as far as this program is concerned, and other educative programs that are on my Major Prime.
So if you are a business person watching us, just call me after the program and tell me that you want to pass your adverts during this program, and we will make some good business. I'm sure our rates are going to be moderate especially for our fans. Just write me that, Mr. Liu, I'm a fan of Prime AHA, and I want you to help me advertise this, my business. We agree on the price that you're going to pay. Quite modest, and we can do business. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to Desmond and Eli for production, Tabi Tambe Brian for supervision. Stay blessed. Not forgetting Mrs. Asanji, Yvette. Bye-bye. Good evening.